What's up, everyone? We got another NFL offseason recap video. Today, we're going to be looking at the Kansas City Chiefs, how their season went last year, what they've done so far in free agency, and what they should be looking for in the draft. Now, the Kansas City Chiefs had a great season last year, obviously winning the Super Bowl. They finished 12-4 in the regular season, going 6-0 in their division. Patrick Mahomes got hurt for a little bit, but he was able to recover in time. Only missed about 2 or 3 games. Matt Moore came in, and he was a competent backup for the Chiefs. The Chiefs' offense was dynamic as usual, finishing with the third best offensive DVOA. They have pretty much one of the best tight ends in the league in Travis Kelce. Their O-line wasn't completely healthy as they rolled out a different five for most of the year, but when they were fully healthy, especially in the playoffs, they kept Mahomes upright. They had a bunch of speed demons in Tyreek Hill, Demarcus Robinson, Sammy Watkins, and McCole Hardman, and they would just beat you down the field if you tried to press up on them. And they finished with the third best offensive DVOA. And the defense actually improved greatly over the course of the season as new defensive coordinator Steve Spagnuolo actually changed the culture of that defense and made it a top tier defense. And they finished 14th in defensive DVOA following a great play by guys like Tyrann Mathieu, Chris Jones, and Frank Clark. Now, the Chiefs only made one big pre-free agency move, and that's declining Cameron Irving's team option. This saved them about $2 to $3 million in cap space, and this is so that they can go get other free agents and keep their in-house players as well. Now, a lot of the moves that the Chiefs made in free agency was actually keeping the players they had. So they kept running back Damian Williams' team option after he had a terrific playoff run, and he's just been dynamic in the playoffs the past 2 years, scoring a bunch of touchdowns. So it's good that they have that continuity on their team. They extended Chad Henne to a 2-year, $3 million deal. The big thing that they did in free agency was franchising Chris Jones. Now, I don't see how they're going to be able to keep Chris Jones along with Frank Clark and Mahomes. You can't have like $300 million paychecks on the roster, but I'm not the GM, so we'll see how that works out. I can see Chris Jones getting traded for like a first or second, 2 seconds, or first and a second round pick. The Chiefs also signed a backup tackle, Mike Remmers, to a 1-year, $2 million deal. I like this signing for Mike Pennell, actually, to a 1-year, $1 million deal. This is just a big body up front, straight nose tackle, helps chew up the run game, and he was really important in stopping Derrick Henry. And they also re-signed receiver Demarcus Robinson to a 1-year, $2 million deal to keep some continuity in their offense and just keep a guy who's played in this offense his whole entire career and is another guy Mahomes can rely on if, say, Tyreek or Sammy Watkins gets hurt. Now, who did the Chiefs let go? Well, they didn't let go of too many of their important players, I would say. Like third string backup tight end Blake Bell went to the Cowboys. This is actually an important move. Backup guard Steven Wisniewski, who can play either tackle, guard, center. He's pretty much one of the more versatile offensive linemen in the league. He went to the Steelers, great pickup for them. Emmanuel Ogba, who was having a solid year before getting hurt, went to the Dolphins. Run stuffer Reggie Ragland went to the Lions. Now the Chiefs really need to have a run stuffing linebacker that they need to find in the draft or in post free agency. Cornerback turned safety Kendall Fuller went to the Redskins. Now the Chiefs traded Alex Smith to the Redskins for Kendall Fuller after he had one of his best years of his career. And Fuller didn't have a great career in Kansas City. Instead, he kind of fell off at cornerback, which is why he was switched to safety. And he didn't perform that well there at that position as well. So when he's going back to the Redskins, the hopes is he can revive some of that cornerback talent that he once had. And for the Chiefs, it's not a big loss because they have great safeties in Tyrann Mathieu and Juan Thornhill, as well as uh, Daniel Sorensen. And at corner, they're pretty much fine with guys like Travarius Ward and Bashad Breeland. And finally, backup safety and special teams ace Jordan Lucas went to the Bears. Now for the draft. Well, for me, I've always wondered what a Super Bowl winning coach thinks he needs to do after he wins the Super Bowl, especially for the draft. Like, you just won a Super Bowl with this roster. Do you really need to make any big moves? And the answer for me is no. I think the Chiefs have a great roster outside of just a small holes here and there, and one of those holes is cornerback. Now, picking at pick 32, you're going to get some mid-tier possible starting options, but also options that have shown a couple weaknesses that teams can exploit. At pick 32, I could expect a guy like AJ Terrell from Clemson to go to the Chiefs. Now, another position I see them going and getting is running back. A guy like DeAndre Swift, who actually I think is a little bit overrated in terms of his running ability, but catching the ball, he's a monster out of the backfield. J.K. Dobbins from Ohio State and Jonathan Taylor, my favorite from Wisconsin, I think would all be great options for the Chiefs. And keep in mind, you have to understand that the Chiefs are still playing with Mahomes in his rookie contract. And the reason why they were able to keep guys like Tyrann Matthew Mahomes, Chris Jones, and Frank Clark is that Chris Jones and Mahomes are playing on the rookie contract. So they're basically playing for like a fifth of their value or sixth of their value, depending on like who you're looking at. They also need to go get a linebacker, but I think this is more of a day two pick. There's not really any value at pick 32 unless they got like Patrick Queen or uh, maybe Kenneth Murray falls, but I think the money value for linebackers are in the second or third round. And finally, they should go get a big bodied receiver for Mahomes to be able to target in the red zone. Maybe a guy like Colin Johnson in the second or third round would be a good pick for them. That is all for this NFL offseason recap video on the Kansas City Chiefs. Don't forget to like, comment what do you think the Chiefs record will be in 2020 and who you think they should take in the NFL draft, and subscribe.